Hi Libra, welcome to your August 2020 reading. Today I will be pulling an oracle card first off to set the tone for the reading. So it'll be kind of like a main energy for the reading. And for that I'll be using the Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud and Jessica Macbeth. In the description box below, I'll provide links to my Etsy shop where I sell handmade jewelry, and to my social media, and to my email. All right, Libra. What do the fairies have to say for Libra? We've got the Singer of Courage. So the Singer of Courage talks about having courage, finding courage, not having courage, needing courage. Courage is kind of an interesting thing. It's like being brave, but before you can have courage, before you can be brave, there's got to be some kind of fear, or else there's no room to have the courage, if that makes sense. You can't have courage if you're not scared, right? So there may be something you're fearing, Libra, and the Singer of Courage is calling upon you to be strong and to be brave. Let's see what the tarot has to say. I'm going to be using the Good Tarot for this spread. And in this deck, the suits are represented by their element. So the Nine of Cups is going to be the Nine of Water. The Two of Swords is going to be the Two of Air. And so on and so forth. So when I pull a card, you will already know what element it is. All right, Libra, let's get a card for current energies. We have the Eight of Air, which is the Eight of Swords. You are having anxiety about something, perhaps. You're in your head about something, perhaps. That's more of the Nine of Swords energy, though. But I'm just, I'm just feeling that. The Eight of Swords is more like the energy of feeling stuck, feeling like you can't move. in some way. You can't see. You're feeling fear because you can't move. You can't move forward in some sort of situation because you can't see what's ahead. Let's see what's crossing this energy. We have got Judgment. In this deck, it's called Call. It's the Judgment card is Pluto energy, which talks about subconscious thoughts being brought to the forefront. Judgment talks about a realization, kind of a, like you're waking up to something. You're an energy that you didn't really know was abound is abound, and it's coming out at this time, and it's making you feel stuck because you don't know what to do with it, is what I'm getting. So you've had a realization of some kind. I want to clarify the Judgment card. So, I mean, something that you're realizing that something is the way it is when you didn't realize it before. Like it's just kind of coming to your attention, the way of something, so to speak. And it's really caught you off guard. And in your mind, you just feel like you can't move forward with your thoughts about this yet. Why is Judgment here? Why is Judgment here? The Six of Swords. Moving away from something. Moving away from something that was turbulent into something that's calm. It's like the Six of Swords is like moving into calmer waters, so to speak. So I'm getting here that you have realized that a situation that you were in was not the best situation for you. And you're moving away from it. We've got sword energy here, so an air energy, which is energy of the mind. So maybe, I mean, it could be just a way of thinking, a way of looking at things. The way that you were looking at something is not necessarily the way that you see it now. And you've moved yourself out of this way of thinking. Or you want to. We have the Nine of Cups here, wish fulfillment. So you are moving towards your wish fulfillment here. So whatever it is that you thought was what you wanted emotionally, you're realizing that that's not, that's not really what it is that you wanted. Whatever it is that you thought was emotionally fulfilling, you're realizing that it's not that. So this does have something to do with emotions. Let's see what we get for past energies here. The High Priestess. Yeah, your intuition was telling you something was not right, was not the truth. And so you really started thinking about it and came to a realization about where your wish fulfillment truly lies. Because it wasn't where you thought it lied. It wasn't in what you thought it was in. Let's see what we get for future. The Eight of Fire. The Eight of Wands. The Eight of Fire can be quick incoming communication. It's a very quick moving energy. So you could there could be a need to communicate this whole thing to somebody. The Eight of Wands to me is also a card of something that happens, that continues to happen periodically. And in the immediate future position, I'm getting that whatever it is that you're moving towards, Libra, it's going to be infinite. And what I mean by that is that this wish fulfillment is more of the truth. It's true. Okay? Whatever it is that you're realizing and wanting to move towards, it's true. Because the Eight of Wands to me speaks about, like I said, something that happens periodically that is infinite, if that makes sense. Like, you know, it's something that happened, that continues to happen because it's infinite. It's forever. It's, if that makes sense. With the High Priestess, we have Pisces energy, also Cancer energy here. And it may, with, you know, with the Singer of Courage here, I do get that whatever this is, it's scary. You know, it's, you know, it may be difficult to leave whatever situation you're in or whatever way of thinking you're in. It may be difficult to leave that behind. But whatever it wasn't, it's not fully true, or it's not anymore. You know, it may have rang true to you in the past, but moving forward, it's not ringing true anymore, and you're moving towards something new. And I'm getting that this is some kind of way that you're looking at your emotional fulfillment. Like, what is it that makes you emotionally fulfilled? It's not the same thing as it was in the past. Let's get a card for your hopes in this situation. The Hierophant, Taurus energy. The Hierophant talks about learning. Talks about being taught by books, being taught by teachers. So, you know, you're hoping to gain knowledge from some kind of higher power, perhaps, some kind of guru, which may be a person, maybe a book. So if you've been thinking about that, then that's, you know, the Hierophant being present here is telling me that that's a good way to go about this. It can also be talk about communicating with your higher self through ritual or meditation. Let's see what we get for fears. So come out, the Ten of Pentacles. You're fearing a loss of stability because you're moving in a new direction. You know, this is a completely different way of thinking, and it's shaking up your stability. But have courage, the Singer says. Be brave and walk into this, because it's, you know that this is where you want to go with the High Priestess here. You know, you've already come to the realization intuitively, and with these, you know, subconscious thoughts coming to the forefront. You know, you intuitively, you felt it intuitively, and now they're coming to the conscious mind. But yeah, I mean, you're afraid that it's going to shake up your stability. And it just may. But you still need to have courage with this, because it's, you know, it's true, whatever you're moving towards. We have the Two of Water on the bottom of the deck, the Two of Cups. So it could be that you are, it's shaking up the stability of what you thought was emotional fulfillment. But people change, people evolve, people come to realizations that they don't need to think in a certain way anymore. And you know, it's your emotional self evolving. And I'm really kind of getting here with the Two of Cups here that this is you moving towards a more mature emotional state. Let's get strength, a card for strengths. And it may not be what you're comfortable with. In fact, that's really what I'm getting. You're not comfortable with it. Okay, we have the Four of Water in the strengths position, so the Four of Cups. That's interesting, hard to get in that position. The Four of Cups talks about, it can talk about boredom, it can talk about disinterest. And, you know, maybe that's something that you can use. Your disinterest in this old way of thinking is something you can use to your advantage, being in the strengths position, if that makes any sense. It's like you're afraid to move forward because it's different and it's shaking up your, you know, your stability. But, you know, the stability that you have gotten from this way of thinking, from what you thought was emotional fulfillment, but you are becoming disinterested in that old way of thinking is what I'm getting with this. And that is an advantage because that is going to help you move forward, if that makes sense. Just remember that you've outgrown it. You've outgrown that way of thinking. You're not interested in it anymore. So for your weaknesses, we have the Three of Fire, which is the Three of Wands. It talks about manifestation, talks about the law of attraction, you know, putting whatever it is out there that you want to come towards you. And in that being in your weaknesses position, I'm getting that you're having a hard time you know, putting out there into the universe what it is that you want to come towards you because of this fear. But again, have courage, you know. You know this is the right path for you. So, you know, do your best to leave this, to overcome this fear, to conquer this fear, and so you can manifest your desires. You can put, you know, you can put that energy out there for what it is that you want. Two of Cups on the bottom of the deck again. Yeah. You're having a hard time putting this energy out there because of the fear. Because you know, you want to manifest your Two of Cups, your new way of thinking when it comes to love and emotional fulfillment. Okay, let me pull a card for advice. The Magician, manifestation. The Magician tells you that you have what it takes to manifest what it is that you want. You have all the tools that you need in you to put this energy out there, to call in the courage that you need to adopt this new way of thinking, this new found realizations that you've had about emotional fulfillment that will ultimately get you what you want and help you to be more comfortable with these realizations that you've been having. Like, for example, say that always in the past you have felt like you've gotten really upset and scared and fearful when, say, your partner has a friendship with the same or with the opposite sex. And this is just an example, okay? It could be anything. So say you've always had this fear arise when your partner has a friendship with the opposite sex, and you are coming to the realization now that that's okay, you know, and you're really starting to be okay with things like that or that specific thing, but it's scary because you're still kind of transitioning, and what I'm trying to say is that the magician is telling you that you have what it takes to overcome this. You have what it takes to call this, to be brave and to conquer this. But anyway, going back to the scenario, so like you've come into this new way of thinking, and this new way of thinking is going to make you a happier person because you're not going to get upset when your partner has a friend of the opposite sex. Does that make sense? Like, you're ultimately going to be happier in this new way of thinking, this emotional maturity, because things like this aren't going to bother you anymore, when they never probably needed to bother you in the first place, depending on the situation, of course. You know, you never really needed to worry about it, but you did. But now, since you're, you know, coming into this newfound way of looking at your wish fulfillment, it's going to be easier. You're going to be happier. But you know, it's scary still, and, you know, takes courage. Okay, I'm going to pull one more card, and it's going to be the unconscious card. And this is an energy that is taking place that you may not be fully aware of at this time. And we have the Ace of Air, the Ace of Swords, which talks about truth. And that is really what I'm getting from this, is truth. Truth, truth, truth. That is what is happening to you right now. You may not be fully aware of it because, you know, you may be still in this energy of, you know, you're coming to all these realizations, and you're like, what, is this really true? Is this really the truth that I'm seeing right now? And this spread is here to tell you that yes, it is the truth. And it is going to make you happy. And oh, of course, we have the King of Water on the bottom of the deck. Oh my goodness, and the Knight of Water. Oh my. Okay. So, on the bottom of the deck, I just got the Knight of Cups, the Messenger of Water, the Queen of Cups, and the King of Cups. Like, really. This is the truth that you're moving into, Libra. Okay, and a few different ways you could look at this. We can look at this, read this. First of all, we have the King and Queen of Cups, which is, so this truth that you are moving towards is going to bring you your emotional connection, the ultimate emotional connection. Okay, with these two cards here. The Queen of Water is very a nurturing, emotional, loving energy. It's very emotional. So whatever this is, I'm really getting it has a lot to do with your emotions. The King of Water, the King of Cups, is, to me, it talks about emotional mastery. And this is the energy that I was getting throughout the reading, was this is what you're moving towards. You're moving towards emotional maturity, emotional mastery. You know, the ultimate emotional fulfilling connection, wish fulfillment here. And there's a Knight of Cups that's, you know, coming in to meet you, rushing in towards you. Love, love, love. Sorry, that was just kind of crazy that just was, I mean, you know, this is the only court cup card that we're missing right here is the Page, which is, you know, the immature one. I mean, it can also be messages, but, you know, this is moving into the truth that's happening as you're moving into emotional security, emotional mastery, emotional maturity. So keep going on this path. Don't, you know, try not to question it. Try not to question the truth behind these realizations that you're having. You know, the newfound way of looking at your love connections, your emotional connections. Beautiful. Okay, Libra, thank you so much for watching. I hope you resonated with this reading. If not, I hope you got some kind of enlightenment from it. And I hope that you will come back next time. Leave me a comment, like, share, subscribe, check out my Etsy shop, and I hope to see you next time.